King's Court MMA. Here we go, Obasogi.
Yes, Yagamadi.
This is your UFC 312 preview show.
Let's go. Let's get it.
It's your guys' time, as you like to say.
I'm on the train. I'm on it. I bought a ticket at the later station, but I'm on the train.
Who was your middleweight champions pick for the year?
Day, pay.
To be honest, I would have gone DDP, but I went rogue. I went absolute off piste. But yeah, here we go. It's DDP, Sean Strickland, number 2.
Number 2. It's his second title defense.
Second one. Second time they're fighting. Obviously, took the title off Sean. Yes. Deshawn. That's what I was. Deshawn. I always forget. I always laugh when I see when they do embedded or countdown and they show his locker and it's still got Deshawn. Something else, a random one I've noticed. Obviously, heard like him and Chris Curtis had a fallout.
Yes.
And they're not buddies anymore.
They're not.
And then on the new, is it Countdown?
Countdown.
Yeah. I was watching Deshawn like just sparring and stuff, and Chris Curtis is there, but they're not interacting. So they're still in the same gym.
Okay, extreme.
Still like obviously training around each other, but you know where they were like buddies and like each other's shadow. There's like they're not in the scene together.
Man, Chris Curtis let him get away with murder anyway.
It's I was like, so Chris is still training. It's just interesting how the dynamic has changed very quickly. But
that's it.
We digress. Obviously, first fight. A few people thought Deshawn won it.
Yes, they did close. At the time. It was
I need
close.
to go back and watch it. What are your thoughts? Have you gone back and watched it recently? The first fight in Toronto?
Not recently, but I watched it again. I think it's close after I watched it the first time. After watching the first time, I did think DDP won it. I did think that.
Because even Dana's statement was
Sean
going into 5. It was 2-2, and then he gave the final round to Sean.
Yeah. I felt that Sean was strong in the early rounds, but I thought DDP took over. So I can see what people mean, but I don't think it was as close as maybe everybody's made out to be in terms of Strickland won it and people's calling it a bad score, and I don't think it was bad judging at all. Anybody could have taken it. DDP had more output, I think.
Takedowns as well. I remember he took him down quite a few times.
Exactly. And the DDP has been quite scathing actually to take about, hey, well, we're not there just teeping and jabbing. That's not going to put a man out. I was
damage.
I was there, yeah. I was there trying to damage it.
Sean I remember Sean was bleeding, wasn't he, in that fight?
Made him bleed his own blood. So
his own blood. So who else's blood you gonna bleed?
It's true. But DDP has promised to be a different fight this time around, The Embedded, if you haven't looked at The Embedded, do go see it because it's quite interesting. I think the mindsets of both of them going into that fight is going to make for an exciting fight for myself, yeah.
And obviously, we've got DDP, who is infamous for, making his opponents cry. His last few opponents have ended up in tears or going on a podcast emotional about the things he said.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we're going to see any more antics like that? Because DDP, I think he also mentions in the show that, in South Africa, all we do is banter. It's just banter. Yeah. Like, we go back and forth. Like, we are trained to have a thick skin, us Afrikaners and South Africans. Like, that's what we do. And that's probably very much comes from, I think the number one sport in South Africa, is cricket and rugby.
Yeah,
and those sports are known for sledging and the banter.
100%.
Of course, it's big. So, does DDP bury Sean Strickland again in the one-up during fight week, which technically for me, fight week commences as soon as the countdown's released. It's fight week.
It's fight week. We're already in it.
So we're in it.
It's true. I think so, but only if Sean initiates the exchanges. I think last time Sean initiated the exchanges before, and that's when he got buried. And I think DDP has said, if Sean wants to start again, I'll come back. So I think it depends what type of Sean Strickland we see. If he's going to come out all brash or Bruno Brazy, then he's probably going to get buried, but this time down under again. Hopefully he doesn't cry this time, and there's no harm
strong
in
men
crying.
cry. Hey,
Yeah, strong men cry. It's true. Strong men do cry.
I can cry and I can still knock you out.
Exactly, and fair play to Sean, because there was some deep stuff, obviously, that that DDP came out with. But Sean, he does give it, and he gives it a hell of a lot. So he needs to be able to take it, and if that's his way of taking it, then fair play. It's interesting because I didn't take from the countdown or anything I've seen of Sean. It's telling us really how different the fight is going to be. Like, I've not heard too much about that, whereas Drickers has been coming out and he's been saying that, well, I'm going to finish this fight. I'm going to finish this fight. Those are the mistakes I did the last round. I'm going to finish this fight, whereas Sean has been a bit more, well, like it's to the death, all of this is,
Yeah, but Sean said that last time.
He did.
And he also said that against Paulo Costa. He says it all the time, basically.
Does,
which is the point I'm getting at.
Gimmick. Yeah, that's
which
true.
Which is the point I'm getting at. And yeah, it looks like the same old Sean, same old awkward, stand on your feet. Same. I know what you mean. From watching the clips, I'm like, well, what's different to any other Sean Strickland fight? Whereas I kind of believe DDP. If he says it's going to be different, I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. He also gave a really good analysis of his previous performance against Sean, where he basically said I was only at 60% in the first 2 rounds because that was the game plan.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It was to save the gas tank and watch Sean kind of his energy levels go down from round 3 onwards, and then for me to take over. And we hear that talk from other champions like Murad, and others where if they're not going at 100%, well, I'm not going to blow my load early, but I'm going to let you get to your decline and then I start my incline.
Yeah.
So DDP's basically said, yeah, the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of see that actually, because then 3, 4, 5, that's when the takedowns came into effect, and even admitted that those jabs were stinging, and he had to put his foot on the gas a little bit sooner because he was just getting jabbed up, and he was like, I can't take this all night.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's not good for the aesthetic as well either if you're just getting jabbed.
And plus the nose, which he's just had repaired, he doesn't want to have that broken again. He had a lot of issues with that in his first few fights in the UFC, where we were like, how's he winning these fights when he can't even breathe? I remember when he was fighting Darren Till and
one against Till,
his mouth was wide open, and then he won it, and we're like, what?
It's true. Exactly.
His mouth was open after 2 minutes.
That's the thing. But it's true, and it's interesting because obviously Eric Nixick, he came out, he was just like, right, yeah, it's fine. The result was the result. He's seen some holes, he's seen some things that they should have done better, and he sees ways so that they can capitalize on it. I think it's interesting because I think Sean's style is quite unorthodox in itself, as how much we talk about DDP's being unorthodox. Sean can take advantage. I think those teeps are good because Izzy had a lot of success when he was hitting and attacking the body of DDP. I think maybe Strickland should do some of the same. Maybe even not the teeps just to keep him away, but dig your toes into there, dig your heels into there.
That's what I was going to say. I think just touching DDP, as proven in those 2 examples, isn't enough, because when he touches you, he's doing it with bad intentions to create damage, as opposed to just point scoring, or just to touch you to show the judges and the crowd, look, I am the one pushing the pace, or I am the one leading this dance, the man dance, leading the man dance. Whereas DDP, clearly, when you watch the first fight, you realise that in terms of the damage and the aggression and the violence, that was DDP. Yes, Sean might have touched him more and landed more strikes, but again, like little teep kicks, yeah, the jab was good. But everything else aside from that, you're like, yeah, you landed 6, he landed 1. His 1 looked better than your 6 combined.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Or you can, when you do landing the jobs, let a 2 come after it as well. Have a 1, not just a 1, but a 1-2, like you do with Izzy. When he hurt Izzy in the first round, if you can throw some shots like that, they're actually there making DDP respect you. Even if he respects you, he might still, be in front of your face, but something that will inflict that damage. And we know Sean's got some wrestling as well. Do you want to try to utilize some wrestling against DDP? We've not seen really anybody be successful with the wrestling against him in the UFC anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that Sean takes some time out and invest in.
It's an interesting one because I don't know, again, if a mindset comes into it where you're like, yeah, I can wrestle, but you've already felt his power and strength, and do you almost come to the conclusion where actually he's bigger and stronger than me on fight night? Do I want to waste my time and my energy wrestling?
Mm.
Yeah, I can do it. I don't want to do it because I know against him, it's going to mean that my gas tank is depleted even quicker than if I didn't wrestle at all.
True. That's very true. But that is one of Sean's specialties. You know, if he was in a game, gas tank would be there because we know Sean can do it for 5 rounds, you know? So it's going to be an interesting one. What do you think in terms of who has the advantage going in, and what do you think?
I mean, I think last year, DDP just showed me, look, don't doubt me. I'm not similar to Moab. And again, I just wanted to make a public apology to Moab for a few weeks ago when, you know, I've always been Team Moab. You know, you were my champ pick of last year. You came through for me. You made me beat this guy over here. You know, beat Sugar, also his guys. That's a double win, double sweet. I doubted you. I can't doubt DDP. Although he's not my champion pick for this year, if I wasn't going off-piste and wild style, he would be. I genuinely think that he's going to make this fight significantly easier than the first fight. I think he's going to make a statement. And I think he's going to be angry with doing it because he didn't want to fight Sean at Strickland again. He actually wanted to fight Khamzat. He made that clear after Khamzat absolutely pulverized Whittaker. He went, he's worthy. That's where the hype is. I want to take that hype away.
I love that.
I do like that mentality.
I love that.
He was like, oh, that's the boogeyman. Because he used to be the boogeyman. And now he's the champion. You don't really class the champion as the boogeyman. You class the champion as the champ. You put respect on the name. He's like, no, I want the boogeyman in the division.
That's it.
Called him out straight away. Unfortunately, he hasn't got what he wants, so he's going to be like, oh, no, I've got to deal with this guy again. Got to deal with this loudmouth again. I've got to make him cry again. And I get to do it, not even in South Africa. I've got to do it in the Southern Hemisphere, but it's in flipping Sydney, and I'm not even fighting an Australian. So I just think he's going to do it with purpose, almost to make a statement to the UFC, to the fans, to anyone doubting him, but more importantly to Khamzat to go, are you sure you want a piece of this? So I think he's going to send a message with real bad intentions against Sean Strickland. So I think Sean is in for and just bleed heavy night against DDP.
Fair play. We heard it there first. We're not going to see a difference in opinion on this one, unfortunately, guys. I do see DDP winning this. I do see DDP implementing his will, causing more damage to Sean than he did in the last fight, and finding a way to finish it, because I think DDP does go out there to finish fights, whereas I think Sean, you know, he does want to finish fights, obviously, but, you know, I think, again, as you alluded to, point-based style of fighting in recent times anyway. I see a potential submission win from DDP, wrestling to the ground, maybe in the third, and make him tap out. I do. There we go.
Submission.
I
think submission is predictable.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to go for the head.
Go for the head?
Yeah.
I think he's going to do a Pereira.
I think he's going to do the opposite of what he did to Izzy, where the potential knockout was there, and then he went in very wisely with the wrestling and then got the choke. I think he's going to get Sean into a position where he could do the same, but then flip reverse it and go for the ground and pound and finish him with the referee, jumping with the referee. Yeah, flip reverse it.
Flip reverse it. Is that Nelly there? Is that Nelly?
Flip reverse it was a Blazing Squad.
Blazing Squad, yeah, they did the cover of that.
Me at the crossroads. I think he's gonna shout out Marcel from Love Island. That's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy's boy. Hey, Marcel, top lad. So yeah, I think he's gonna flip reverse it again to make a statement. Like, I don't think he's gonna give Strickland the easy way out and tap him or choke him out or whatever. I think he's gonna go for, I'm going to knock you out, or at least knock you down. And when I can, and when you expect me to submit you or whatever, it's going to get on you, mount you, genuine style, my pony. Let's do it. Widen my pony. He's going to make Sean Strickland his pony and just round and pound him. and the referee's going to have to go
pull him off. Him off.
Yeah.
Fair dues.
Sean Strickland's a tough guy, and I think the only time I can remember him getting absolutely cleanly starched is by Pereira.
Yeah.
So it's going to be ground and pound like Hulk smash style to get him out of there. And Shane, what's my favorite referee? I always forget his name. Shane, the one who just if he
Mario.
dies, he dies. Shane Mario's not around because if Mario's was around, geez,
he'd be looking elsewhere. I tell you, he ain't with it.
Lining up his chicks for his trip down under. Jeez, he's on Tinder.
It was a fight. Okay.
So that is unanimously we at the King's Court are going with and still DDP middleweight champion of the world with Hamzat waiting. Well, do we think Hamzat will be there in the building? You think we could have a nice little setup, a nice little in the cage, face to face?
As he said, he's got his UAE papers.
He's got his Dubai UAE passport now. Hopefully that makes it easier for him to navigate the world and be a global traveller again.
I think if he has anything about him or his team have anything about him, they should make sure he's there, waiting in the wings. 100%.
Because he's obviously the narrative has changed. He's the dad, but I kind of want to see him go in cage. I kill you, I smash you, I eat you. I want that Hamzat back, man. I love that Hamzat. I need to see that animal.
Exactly.
Was the wolf come back for his dinner.
Time to eat.
So boom. That's the main boxed off. Co-main. Whew.
It's a nice one.
It's the picks versus the picks.
It's the picks
versus the pick. It's Zhang Weili, my friend, my homie, in the DMs, love hearts, chatty. Zhang Weili, champion.
I think it was myself, Zhang Weili, that picked you for the champ last year. Just putting it out there.
This is 2025. There's no need to be looking in the past now. And you're not the one who replies to her DMs. I am. So just back off, back off. Seriously, hater. Me and my BFF. My BFF, the champion of the world, women's strawweight title versus my ex flame.
Are you hearing this, Patchy?
My ex-flame.
Are you hearing this, Patchy?
Ex-flame of 2024. Tatiana Suarez. Love Tatiana.
Yeah.
Love Weili more, though. I have to say that. Come on. But, man, Tatiana. Yeah, I'm excited about this one as well.
I am. This is a redemption story, This is She's had so many ups and downs. We thought her time was going to be last year. We thought her time was going to be 3 years ago.
Yeah,
she's struggled with health issues,
neck injuries,
knee injuries, flipping neck, and
it was all the ligaments in her knee, all of them.
All of them gone. Boom.
So let alone be walking again and getting back in the cage, but
she's a warrior
at this elite level. Honestly, redemption song.
That's it.
Big.
That's all I ever had. And that's all after she's obviously, beating cancer as well when she was doing the wrestling, college wrestling and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
thyroid cancer, that was it.
It's serious business. I think
if you don't know that story, get to know Tatiana Suarez is one strong woman.
100%. You picked her as obviously your champion of last year.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think she only had one fight last year.
I think she had
two. Or maybe not. Or maybe it was two the year before.
No, it was two the year before.
Two the year before, and then none last year.
And none last year. That's the thing.
Weili only had I think one, maybe two.
Was it? Yeah, she had two. There's 1, 2.
For a
fellow countryman,
country woman, and then Amanda Lemos.
Oh, Lemos as well. So yeah,
she had two last year.
That's
beginning of the year and then summer, I think, and that was it.
Yeah. Do you want to go or should I go?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I saw, again, watching the countdown, it was interesting to see that obviously, Weili, I forgot, she's a 2-time champion. Yeah. And she's a current champion.
2-time.
And she only lost.
Big shoe.
She lost to what's her name? Thug
Yep.
Rose,
The head kick.
Road head kick,
Yeah.
but then she lost the rematch as well. That's one thing I've forgotten about. She lost the rematch, and she was talking about actually when she was the champ before then, in terms of like her mind was not in it. She wasn't in the right physical state. She wasn't in the right mental state and things like that, which is something I wouldn't really have put to Zhang Weili because she's just so like not stone faced, but she's very like
quite stoic.
Yeah, stoic in a sense, sort of thing. So I was like, oh, okay, well that's interesting, you know. I think we've seen her at her best. I think she's had to fight at her best in certain fights. I don't think in the last 2 fights she's had to fight at her best.
Nowhere near.
Exactly.
Nowhere near.
And I think maybe the level of competition over, recently has not really been the level of competition where she has to push herself to reach new things in the gym, you know?
But that's where I think she's still learning new things in the gym. That's what I think is scary, and that's why I think that's where I think that gap between her and the competition has been created. To be fair, because when she fought Cookie Monster and just bullied her, and like Cookie Monster was known for like the wrestling, she showed Cookie Monster there's levels to wrestling, and that was something she's learning. I think it's scary, and when if you see the countdown, like her coach says, she's learning. But she's a quick learner.
Yeah,
you teach her something once, and then she's got it. So now it looked like she was mastering BJJ, and he was teaching her moves out in Thailand. And he said it, and you could see it with your own eyes. Like he's showing her a leg lock, and then she's doing it
straight after.
I'm just like, that's not normal. So I think it's quite scary. I agree with your points. Like she hasn't had to fight anywhere near her best because of the level of competition, but I think she's also contributed because she's such a student of the game, where the gap, if there was a gap versus the competitive set, what she's doing with that gap is, rather than like maintaining it and staying consistent, is she's still going up levels. So unless they're keeping up with her, what's happening is that gap is just doing that. So it makes it look to us that it's easy. Whereas if she stopped learning, then maybe it would be a bit more competitive. That's what I mean. It's still quite scary because we see her as this well-rounded, absolute athlete, this machine. But then, even I said on the countdown, all she had was stand-up when she first started MMA.
That's true. But she first started MMA a while ago now. And we've seen her. She's had a great ground game as well. But I think the level of competition where she's going ahead of has been, the Esparzas, has been the Joannas, who's coming off a long layout, has been against Andrade.
But even on that's a great example, because look how tight that first fight was against her and Joanna. The battle, the brawl it was, the hematoso and all of that crazy. And look what she did to her in the second fight with the spinning back fist.
That's true, but the difference, the time span within those first 2 fights was a lot. She had to overcome. That was after she fought Rose twice. If there's a different, Joanna probably didn't even fight anyone in between those fights. So she's had to go through the churn of learning, of recreating herself as well. Whereas I think her other competitors at the stage, she wasn't there. Tatiana Suarez she wasn't a competition at that stage, and I think Tatiana, before her knee blown out, she was at the stage where actually she could have fought for the title then.
Yeah, true.
And I think now it's Tatiana's time. I think it's the time for her to show the world what she has. I think she's just relentless in her wrestling. She also has obviously good high level BJJ as well, and she finishes fights. That's what I love about her. She finishes fights as well as Weili does. It'll be interesting to see on the feet who has that stand up and who has the advantage stand up, because I would say Weili does, but I've not seen too much of Tatiana in recent times there. I really think the level of wrestling is, as I think somebody has said it, I think she's got the best wrestling in the women's MMA in the world, at the moment in time, and that's scary. She's out there training with champions. Her partner, I don't know if it's her husband yet, Patchy Mix. She's out there at Extreme Couture.
I realised just watching the countdown, I was like, hold on a minute, they're both out of Extreme Couture.
Yeah,
because that's Weili's US camp when she's here. When she comes here, Final Plex, she's with them.
Is she with them?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I thought you meant Strickland and
no,
Tatiana.
So was Weili.
Interesting. Interesting. How often though does she come to the UK? I thought she was all out of Thailand recently.
But when she comes here, like her final prep is there.
Like
her final last few weeks will be
interesting to see who's in the
then
corner.
Maybe not this time because it's in Sydney, so that might be redundant actually.
Oh yeah,
she's not fighting in the States.
Yeah, so that's very true.
That might be redundant.
Yeah,
I mean, I want it to be a close, crazy, competitive fight. I agree. I think Tatiana Suarez is incredible. I mean, obviously, I want Weili, my pick, to win, but my pick just needs to be champion at the end of the year. This could be a nice little trilogy. This could be a nice little trilogy. No, honestly, it could be one of those. It could be. He's after
himself here. They don't care about it.
It could be one of those. It could be one of those fights where, yeah, it's so good. Let's just win it back. Like, we saw that with Pantoja and was it Moreno?
Yeah,
it could end up being like that.
I'd love that.
But my fear, and this is why I think I said in the champ picks, I've still got to stay with Weili, is basically activity, being more active. What have you done for me lately? The fact that I didn't see Tatiana at all last year. Yeah, she's gonna hopefully she comes in fresh. She's fresher. She's 100%. She's injury free. The rest of it, but. That is still like I need to go off what I've seen lately, and that's why I didn't pick her to be my champion this year, because I was like, I can't pick someone who I didn't see fight for a whole year and hasn't fought for over a year and a bit. That scares me when you've got an absolute beast like Weili who probably does want to fight 3 times a year. You see that in her. She lives the game. She's not. When she's not fighting, you don't really see her about. She's in Thailand. She's training. She's there because she loves the weather. It's warm. She's always on. Do you know what I mean? So I'm definitely sticking with Weili to win it. But worst case scenario, if it's so close and Tatiana wins, I'd be absolutely delighted. But I would be 100% be all about, we need to run that back again.
It's true.
We need to run that back again because I think again Weili is already 2-time champ. She's got loads of credit in the bank. I think she needs a very worthy adversary. I think Tatiana could be the adversary. And I think the division probably needs a real good back and forth because, like you said, it's not Weili's fault. She can only beat what's in front of her.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's fully gone out. And I think she didn't starch her countrywoman. I think it went to decision, didn't it? Yeah, she battered her.
But she beat her twice. She beat her twice because she was out.
The first round she was out, wasn't she? She was out. She was out like a light. Yeah, first round, and the referee missed it and had to wake up and literally poke fingers up her nose to wake her up.
She is. I'll get her to wake up.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. And then, then Weili was like, after that, I took the lot. She said the next 3 rounds, she didn't even hear what her coach was saying.
Yeah. And that's, to be honest,
which scares me.
That's the championship. But still, again, she managed to get out of it. That's the championship caliber of Weili. But at the same time, it's a scare. But
I've got to go off the activity. The fact she's my BFF, completely biased, and me and Weili talk. I'm gonna check up on her probably tomorrow just to see how things are, how she's travelled to Australia, if she's already there, if I can send anything from home for her. I've got a really good Chinese spot in Chinese, number 8, does some great hot pot. I saw her eating hot pot on the countdown as well. Mate, hot pot slaps. Oh my goodness. I only had it myself the other day. I was like, wow, okay, proper Chinese food, not westernized Chinese food. Go to a Chinese restaurant which is just full of Chinese people.
Yeah,
have a hot pot. Change your life.
Good.
Change your life.
Good.
I've got it's 5 rounds. Has Tatiana fought 5 rounds before in the UFC? This might be her first time.
She was Ultimate Fighter champions. That Ultimate Fighter one was, but she finished it.
She did. She
finished it. I don't think she had the need to fight 5 rounds. But so that could be a factor.
I just want to see a fit, full firing on all cylinders. Tatiana Suarez. I want to see it super competitive, and good luck to both ladies. I really like them both.
Yeah,
and trilogy, man. Why not? Let's start a little mini trilogy going. That would be the best thing for this division.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I want to see it. I am going with obviously Tatiana Suarez. If I'd not said it before, I think she gets the job done. I think she finishes Weili, and I think she finishes it by submission. But again, open to a trilogy.
Cool. That is our main and co-main 312 over in Sydney next weekend.
Let's go.
We're back, baby. Every weekend, just pure violence.
Bring the fire.
Yes. Yo, let us know what you think, what picks you've got for the card.
Yeah.
Any other sleeper fights in the card? Because I'm not going to lie, apart from the main and the co-main, I need to be schooled on, what to really look out for. So if there's any fighters you feel we should be putting some respect on their name and calling them out, let us know in the comments.
Indeed.
Please, the engagement levels are going up, which we completely appreciate.
We do.
Comment. We reply to all the comments. Like, subscribe.
Yes,
a lot of our audience don't subscribe, but they've started subscribing now. It's making a massive difference to us, so really appreciate the love. But yeah, 312. Yeah. It's good. I'm looking forward to the main and the co-main.
Same. Let's do it.
We're going to be blessed with 2, hopefully for me, and still, and you're after and still and new.
And new and still.
And new and still.
I've got to be specific about these things, baby.
Ultimately, just want to see some great violence. And yeah, that's it. King's Court MMA. Your guy Obasogi.
Your guy Mardi.
And that was the UFC 312 preview show.
Let's go.
Over and out.
Peace.